wondered what 1 full percent interest rate difference means to your home loan payment? Well, today we're going to do the math and I'm going to walk you through that. So this example is going to show a $500,000 purchase price with 5% down. So you're financing $485,000. And I'm going to take you on a journey that's going to show you what happens to the payment from a 7% interest rate to a 6.5% interest rate to 6.25% interest rate to a 5.99% interest rate. And the good news is interest rates are in those low sixes, high fives, depending on the program, the down payment, the credit score. So interest rates overall have materially come down over the last couple of years. But what does it really mean? So here's what it means. In this scenario, for a 0.5 point decrease in rate, the monthly savings is $162 a month on that $500,000 house with 5% down. $162 a month. So a lot of times we get hung up on that extra eighth or a quarter in interest rates. I'm not saying $162 a month isn't material, but I think a lot of times people think that that savings is going to be more than it really is. So let's get into, okay, what would 0.75% reduction in that interest rate look like? That savings jumps to $240 a month. So again, now we're at 0.75% reduction. So from 7% to 6.25%, monthly payment, $240 savings. So, now we're getting there. That's something. And for 1 full percentage point, this is really big because we talk a lot about rates going from 7% to 6% or 6% to 5%. For 1 full percentage point in this scenario, the savings is $322 a month. And you might be watching this and thinking, well, that's not really that big of a deal. Well, it may be. It depends on your personal situation, your budget, your cash flow, the other things you have going on. It could even make the difference of whether you could qualify or not. So the good news is with interest rates coming down, it is going to give you more options and it is going to bring a lower payment to you than where we were a year or two ago. But the real savings comes over time. So let's take a peek at this. What happens in that full 1 percentage point difference from 7% to that 5.99%? And I'm saying that versus 6 because we roll down to 5.99 on our 6% loans. So in this case, that is going to save you over 5 years, $24,000. Now we're talking. That's really where the savings starts to accrue is over time. So if you're sitting there going, as a naysayer, oh, $322 a month isn't a big deal. Well, $25,000 over 5 years might be a bigger deal. It is to me for sure. All right, so let's pay it forward. Let's see what this really looks like over 15 years. Over 15 years, you would see a $75,000 difference in interest paid for that 1 percentage point difference. Isn't that incredible? So it's not necessarily that monthly payment. Yes, it's important. Yes, it can impact your cash flow, your ability to qualify, all of that scenario. But the savings over time, that's the money. That's really where we start to see it add up. So if you're in the market to purchase a home and you're listening to all of the naysayers out there, whether it's social media, the national media, the print media, if you're listening to this affordability crisis conversation and it's stopping you in the track from finding out what your scenario could look like, and if you're in a position to purchase a home, please do me a favor. Please do yourself a favor. Remain curious through this journey. Don't listen to all of the noise. Focus on the numbers. Focus on the math. Figure out based on your scenario, your budget, what your goals are. Are you in a position to buy a home? Do you understand how appreciation works? How when we say that the net difference, the net wealth difference between a renter and a home buyer is $400,000, what does that really mean? Talk to somebody that can help walk you through those numbers. You may go through that conversation with curiosity, and you may decide now is not the time, and that's okay. But really taking hold of the noise and being able to filter through it with the numbers as they pertain to you and your scenario, that is truly the best advice I can give you. And this doesn't matter whether it's a purchase or a refinance. We have a lot of refinance activity right now. A lot of people that purchased 2 or 3 years ago where those rates were 7.5, maybe even 8%. This is a material difference to go from an 8% mortgage to a 6% mortgage. But there's so much more that goes into it. So talk with somebody. If we can be of help, don't hesitate to reach out. 480-725-0150. You can contact one of our Kelly Zitlow Mortgage Group advisors, and we're just going to have a conversation, kind of dive into what your goals are and give you some insights. In the end, this is your decision. And our job is to really just be sure you have the information to make an educated decision. If you found value in this, honestly, like, subscribe, share it. It really does help the channel, and it helps us to spread the word and get more of this information out there.